Hello and welcome to week 9. This week we are pushing ourselves even further because we are so close to finishing the program. What I want you to do is try and increase your resistance band to a heavier one than you used earlier on in the program. We'll be doing 40 seconds of work, have 20 seconds of rest, and be aiming to do 2 to 3 rounds of this session. Our first exercise is a chest press. So we've done this one before. We're going to be looping our resistance band around our back, onto our waist just underneath our arms. We're going to start with our elbows up and we're going to breathe out as we extend our arms forward. Breathe in, our elbows pull back. Now we're just coming up to about shoulder height, so there's no need to push up higher like this. We want to just go straight out in front of us, shoulder height, and then pull it back. So we're going to breathe out as we extend, breathe in as we bend. Okay, we've got 40 seconds of work. Let's go. Our next exercise is a bent over row. So what we're going to do is step onto the middle of our resistance bands. We're going to be taking a slight micro bend in the knees, pushing the hips back, and our back is nice and flat. We're going to be drawing our shoulder blades back down towards our glutes, and all we're going to be doing is rowing the elbows up, keeping the elbows nice and tight to the side, and extending the arms down. So elbows stay close to the ribs. We're going to row up, breathing out as we do, and breathing in, arms come down. So exhale, inhale. And the whole time we want to be making sure we've got that little bend into the knees. We're pushing shoulders back and we've got a flat back. So we don't want any of this. We want a nice flat back, neutral back. All right, we've got 40 seconds. Let's go. Our next exercise is a bicep curl. So we're going to be standing onto the middle of our resistance band, nice and tall. Elbows are staying tight to the sides, and all we're going to be doing is bringing our arms all the way up to our shoulders and slowly releasing. So we're going to breathe out as the arms come up, breathe in as they go down. So I can really feel this one in my biceps because I'm using a heavier band. So just doing what you can. If it feels like it's too much, you can use a chair because this will cause less resistance. So we've got 40 seconds of work. Let's go. For our next exercise, we're going to come into a squat. So we want to tie the resistance band around our legs, just about 6 inches above our knee. So all we're going to be doing is the same as our usual squats. The weight is in the heels, we're pushing the hips back, imagining we're sitting down onto a chair, bending those knees, coming down and driving up through the heels. With this resistance band, I want you to focus on pushing the knees outwards slightly, almost as though you're feeling that you're onto the outside of your feet. So what this is going to do is it's going to push against the band, which in turn is going to help strengthen your glutes. So what we want to do is come down, hips come back, we're gently pushing out, so we're working into those glutes, and then we're driving up through our heels. So one last time, hips come back, we're coming down, we're pushing out through the knees, and then we're driving up through the heels. So we've got 40 seconds of our squats. Let's go. Our next exercise is a tricep extension. So we're going to hold on to almost the middle of one end of the band. Our other elbow is going to tuck in tight to our ribs. So what I want you to imagine is that you've got some glue on your elbow and it's stuck to your side. So one arm is straight, the other arm is bent. We're going to take a little hinge forward, a little bend into the knees, and we're going to extend the arm back straight and then bend it forward. So what we've got to remember when we're doing this is that one arm is straight, the elbow is tight to the side, hinging forward, and we're straightening that arm back, and then we're bending it in. Notice how my elbow here stays. We don't want it to move, we just want it to extend and bend. So when you're ready, we're going to do 40 seconds on one side and then 40 seconds onto the other. And now we're going to do the same onto the other side. So little hinge forward, slight bend into the knees. One arm straight, the other elbow tight to the side. Okay, for our next exercise, we're working a little bit into those glutes again. So we're going to come into our abductions. So what I want you to do is tie the band nice and tightly just above your knees. We're going to step our feet apart, so already I can feel that my glutes are now activated because we're pushing against the band. All we're going to do is take a little bend forward, so we're starting to come into a squat position. Our hips are back, our knees are slightly bent. And all we're going to do is push our knees out to the side and then back in. And you will immediately feel that contact into the glutes. So we're relaxing the shoulders down, we're sending the knees out and then in. Out and then in. So just to show you again, we have that little distance between the feet. We're going to take a mini bend in the knees, sending the hips back, so we're not coming into a full squat. If, of course, you want to challenge yourself, you can come into a full squat and do your abductions here. Or to start with, little hinge forward, little bend into the knees, and we're just sending the knees out and in, out and in. Now you will feel your feet almost going out and in like this. That's absolutely fine because you're still working to the glutes. So 40 seconds of work, let's go.
Take time, take time, take time. See the morning light, sun is out, we will be fine. So why won't we take time, take time, take time to listen carefully and rewind. It feels good on me, rewind and rewind and rewind and rewind.
Our next exercise is our crab walks. So we're keeping the band where it is. This is where we're going to start to feel that burn into the glutes and the legs. We want to make sure we've got enough room to take 2 or 3 steps to one side and then the same to the other side. So, for example, I'm going to start here. I'm going to take a little squat down, so almost just like what we were doing with the abductions. I'm then going to take 1, 2, 3 steps to one side, and then 1, 2, 3 steps to the other side. Now with this, what I want to do is as I step, we're trying not to let the band get too slack. So we want to try and keep the same distance between our feet as we're doing these movements. So if you watch my feet now, I've got that little bend in my knees, I'm hinging forward at my hips, I'm engaging my core, so squeezing the tummy. We're taking 1 step. Notice I still have the same distance between my feet as before. Another step, still same distance, so we're working into that glute. And 1 more. So trying to keep that distance, we've got 1, 2, and 3. So when we're ready, we've got 40 seconds of work. 3 steps one way, 3 steps the other way. This is going to burn, but feels so good. Our final exercise in today's session is going to be a lunge. So we're going to hold on to either end of our band. One foot is going to step on the middle of the band. Our other foot is going to come back into our lunge position. So we have done our lunges before. Remember, the weight stays into that front foot, into the heel. We're going to bend forward and then we're going to push up through the heel, driving up. So just to show you that, we're going to bend that front knee, nice 90-degree angle, and then we're going to drive up. So bending and driving up. So we're going to work for 40 seconds on each leg, and this will be really activating into the glutes and also into the quads. Final exercise, guys, let's go. And the same onto the other side. Let's go. Well done, guys. Now repeat that for 2 more rounds. Our first exercise is a chest press. Okay, we've got 40 seconds of work. Let's go. Our next exercise is a bent over row. All right, we've got 40 seconds. Let's go. Our next exercise is a bicep curl. So we're going to be standing onto the middle of our resistance band. So we've got 40 seconds of work. Let's go. So we've got 40 seconds of our squats. Let's go. Our next exercise is a tricep extension. When you're ready, we're going to do 40 seconds on one side and then 40 seconds onto the other.
Let's go!
And now we're going to do the same onto the other side. So little hinge forward, slight bend into the knees. One arm straight, the other elbow tight to the side. So we're going to come into our abductions. 40 seconds of work. Let's go.
Let's go!
Our next exercise is our crab walks. This is going to burn, but feels so good. Our final exercise in today's session is going to be a lunge. We're going to work for 40 seconds on each leg, and this will be really activating into the glutes and also into the quads. Final exercise, guys, let's go.
It's getting closer. Can
And the same onto the other side. Let's go.
Lights go down.
Our first exercise is a chest press. Okay, we've got 40 seconds of work. Let's go. Our next exercise is a bent over row. All right, we've got 40 seconds. Let's go. Our next exercise is a bicep curl. So we're going to be standing onto the middle of our resistance band. So we've got 40 seconds of work. Let's go. So we've got 40 seconds of our squats. Let's go. Our next exercise is a tricep extension. When you're ready, we're going to do 40 seconds on one side and then 40 seconds onto the other. And now we're going to do the same onto the other side. So little hinge forward, slight bend into the knees. One arm straight, the other elbow tight to the side. So we're going to come into our abductions. 40 seconds of work, let's go. Our next exercise is our crab walks. This is going to burn, but feels so good. Our final exercise in today's session is going to be a lunge. We're going to work for 40 seconds on each leg, and this will be really activating into the glutes and also into the quads. Final exercise, guys, let's go. and the same onto the other side. Let's go.